Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian. This video is creative bass arpeggios for solos and lines. In this case, we're using a minor triad. Now, a minor triad, how much can you actually do with a minor triad? You would be surprised, and I'm going to show you that right now. If you use some creative energy and use some shapes and positions, put it all together, and I'm going to show you to play lines all the way across the neck that are very interesting. And the best part of it is, because they are only a minor triad, it works great with a minor chord. It works great with a minor seventh chord. You don't have to use the seventh. It works exceptional with solo ideas using substitutes, and that gets a little more advanced, but it is actually very simple. It is just 3 notes. The complexity of using it lines and solos like that is working out where the substitutes go, but it sounds great. Let me show you a few ideas and we'll start right now. That was our first example. Let me explain a little about what is going on with that, and I'll break it down, play it slow. What you see here is the neck of the bass naturally, and it includes 2 octaves of which we're going to be playing this D minor triad throughout this tutorial. And as you can see, we start on the 5th fret with the root, and then we go up to the 12th fret, and that will be our first octave, and then we go up to the 19th fret, which will be our second octave, which would include all the triads I will be using as we go up the neck. It's a 4-bar phrase. It has playing the repetitive groove 2 measures. Then we go into the fill, which is 2 measures, which equals 4 measures, and that's nice and even number, which makes it easier to use. So now right there, before I go into the fill, there's an 8th rest. It kind of makes it smooth to transition the fingering to go into that fill. So, but also it creates a challenge because it's syncopated to start on the offbeat of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... So I start on the offbeat of 1 and I end on 3 and. Also, I put in a blues note. I cheated a little bit. I added 1 note just to make it interesting, but this is purely just a minor triad, a D minor triad. 3 notes, D, F, and A. And this was an A flat that gives us that blues note. So let me play it slowly for you. And I can go right back, and since I have that full beat up here, I can bring my hand down to the 5th fret of the A string, which is a D, and I'm good to go again. So the thing I'd like to point out, the challenge maybe, is right there on the first measure of the fill. We have a stretch of going from A to D. 7th fret to the 12th fret. Let's take a closer look at example 2. As you can see, there is a chart up above, and I mapped out some of the things you need to know to make this work the best for you. First of all, the boxes are in red, and I have box 1, box 2, box 3, and that's important for you to know where we are, and I'll put an arrow pointing to each box that I'm working on. And secondly, we have inversions. This would be the root position, and a second inversion on the 2nd box, the root position on the 3rd box in a different shape. And then we have the intervals. We have the root, the 3rd of the triad, the fifth, and the minor third again of the triad. So we have a lot of information here, and we also have the tablature, which I'm sure I do not need to explain. So let's start with box 1, root position, and this is very common. You may have already seen this. Root, flat 3, fifth, 3. That will be the first box. Let's move on to the second box right here. And this would be the second inversion. And second inversion means you start from the fifth. And we are going to start from the 7th fret for the fifth right here. And we go to the root, which is here, which is a stretch. And then to the 10th fret on the G string, which is the F. So you have 5, root, flat 3. I'm going to put both boxes together. Okay, let's go to box 3, which is right here. Now, you notice this is in the root position, but it's not the same shape and on the same frets as I did on box 1, and I'll explain why. But let's go to that. So we're starting on 12. 12th fret of the D string, which is a D, the root. And we put a 10th fret of the G string, which is an F, and then 14th fret of the G string, which is an A, which is the 5th. So let's put these together. Box 1, box 2, that sounds pretty good, and you know, it's good to get that in your ear, you know. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... Now that we have the 3 boxes, let's go for the 4th box. Right here, the 4th box. Now, we just played the root position, but it was using different frets, and now we playing the root position again, going further up the neck using another shape so we can even go further after this box. So we already played this shape. Now we play it again, but we're going to change the position to... So that would be box 3 to box 4. So far we have... Now we're working on box 5. That will be right here, of course. And as you can see, it is the first inversion, which means it starts on the minor third, and that would be on the 15th fret of the D string right here. And the next note would be the A, which would be the 14th fret of the G string. And then we have the root with that large stretch there from fret 14 to 19. So let me play that from the very first box all the way up to the 5th box. I'll play that pretty slow now. We're now working on box 6, which is right here. And you'll notice there's a different term there, a retrograde root. And all this is an arpeggio played from top to bottom, upside down. I think it's easier to think about it as an upside down arpeggio from the top to the bottom. So it would be a root position, and the root would be on the 12th fret of the D string. So we're starting on the 5th. So we will go down like 5, 3, 5, 3, and then you 1. And then it will go 5, 3, 1, one more time in a different position. We're on the 7th box now, which is a second inversion retrograde, which means since it's the second inversion, The lowest note, because we're upside down, would be the A, and that's what makes it the second inversion. An inversion starting from the fifth. I'll go up, but of course, since it's retrograde, it starts from the highest note and goes to the lowest note. We're now working on the last two beats of our four-measure phrase, and that would be box number 8. Now what we have here is something a little different, and I had to kind of modify the meaning of first inversion retrograde. I just did this, since it only has two notes, the fifth and the third. I took the lowest note, and since the lowest note is the third, we'll call it first inversion. Very easy. I'm going to go through the whole four measures, play it twice, and give you a feel for how it sounds. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Also, I might ask that you subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of the videos yet to come, and comment. You can go to my Patreon page and download all the study items on this video, including notes, tabs, the chart, and a play-along, and give me support at the same time. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you again.